You know that moment when you're sitting next to her. Her knee brushes yours. She doesn't pull away. You glance at her. She's playing with her hair, eyes darting toward you, then away. Your heart's pounding. Is this it? Is she into me, or am I just imagining it? You hesitate. But here's the truth. Most guys miss the exact moment when she's practically begging them to make a move. And what's worse, by waiting too long, you become the safe friend she tells others about, the guy who never got it. So, was it just in your head? Or did you miss your moment? Have you ever missed a moment like this? Comment A. Last time you froze up, or drop a if this hits too close to home. Stick around, because the last sign will shock you. You're sitting across from her. Maybe it's a coffee shop. Maybe a classroom. The hum of conversation fills the air, but all you can hear is your own heartbeat. She laughs at your joke. Not a loud, polite laugh, but one that lingers. Her eyes soften. She leans in, just a little. Her fingers play with the chain around her neck. She touches your arm as she speaks, and you you smile back. You keep talking, because in your mind, she's just friendly, right? But here's the part that stings. She's not just being friendly. She's inviting you in, and chances are, you didn't even see it. Most guys don't. They're too busy looking for fireworks to notice the sparks right in front of them. But women, they're subtle, intentional. They live in nuance. She's not going to blurt out, "Kiss me." She's going to lean closer. She's going to find reasons to touch you. She's going to hold eye contact just a second longer than usual and wait to see if you notice. And when you don't, something inside her deflates. Picture this. You're mid-conversation, and every time you say something even remotely funny, she reaches out, taps your arm, brushes your shoulder. Her posture turns toward you, not away. Her legs cross in your direction. She's laughing. She's glowing. And then she says, "You're fun to talk to. Most guys don't really get me." And that right there was a test. She's watching your eyes, watching your body language, watching to see if you get it, if you're bold enough to recognize her signals for what they are. You probably thought she was just being polite. You probably didn't even notice how she inched closer every time you relaxed into the conversation. But she noticed. She orchestrated the entire rhythm of that moment, and she was hoping you'd step up and match her energy. Most guys overlook this, but you won't, because now you know. Next time she leans in, mirror her posture. Don't lean away. Lean in, just slightly. Pay attention to how her body responds. That's how attraction builds, not in grand gestures, but in microscopic choices. Ones that show her you're aware. You're present, because women don't. Say, "Make a move." They whisper it, with glances, laughter, and proximity. And if you're really paying attention, you'll hear it loud and clear. There's something you need to understand about women. Something that most guys never realize until it's far too late. Women test, constantly. Not out of cruelty, not to toy with you, but because they're wired to seek certainty in the uncertain. They want to know if you're bold enough, if you're perceptive enough, if you're the kind of man who acts instead of just watching from the sidelines. It's subtle at first. She makes a joke at your expense, playful but sharp enough to sting just a little. She calls you trouble with a smirk, but there's a spark in her eyes. She mentions how she shouldn't be left alone with you, and then pauses, just long enough for you to catch the hidden meaning. Most men, they miss it. They think she's just teasing. But what's really happening here is a test. A very specific test. She's putting herself in a position to see if you'll take the lead. She's giving you the opportunity to show that you're confident enough to handle her flirtation without flinching, to meet her playfulness with equal energy, to escalate. Picture this scene. You're leaving a party together. She forgets her jacket inside and asks if you'll walk back with her to grab it. But when you both step back inside, she doesn't. Reach for her jacket right away. She lingers. She leans against the doorframe. She looks at you, the corner of her mouth curling into a daring little smile. She's just being playful. You tell yourself. She probably just likes the attention. But deep down, you can feel it. This is more than just playful banter. This is her opening the door, literally and metaphorically. Was she just joking? Or was that a test? She's giving you a moment, a window of opportunity to lean in, to close the gap, to show her that you're not afraid of tension. But most men back down here. They laugh it off. They change the subject. They walk away, thinking they've been respectful. What they don't realize is that in that exact moment, she was silently hoping they'd lean in. You've probably passed some of these tests without even realizing it. And sometimes that's all it takes. One bold move to flip the dynamic completely. But now you know how these tests work. And next time she teases you or sets up a playful, flirty situation, you won't deflect. You won't retreat down instead. You'll playfully escalate. You'll lean in and say, "Careful, I might just take you up on that." And you'll watch her reaction carefully. Because testing isn't about words. It's about energy, boldness, presence. And the man who passes her tests is the man she can't stop thinking about. There's a language women speak that most men never learn to decode. A secret language that isn't spoken through words at all. It's in the tilt of her head, the angle of her body, the way she plays with her jewelry or bites her lip. It's body language, raw, unfiltered, and far more honest than anything she ever say aloud. And here's the brutal truth. Her body will tell you everything before her words ever do. You're at a party. She's standing across the room, talking to someone else. You assume she's not paying attention to you, but you don't notice her feet. Her toes are pointed right at you, locked in like magnets. Every time you shift in her direction, her body subtly adjusts, keeping you in her orbit. Most guys think, she's barely talking to me. She must not be interested. But here's what's really happening. Her body is begging for attention, even if her words are elsewhere. Picture this. You're sitting next to her at a bar. She's twisting her hair around her finger, over and over, while she listens. Her neck tilts slightly to the side, exposing the soft skin just beneath her ear. She leans in, resting her chin on her hand, her body angled toward you, like a flower leaning toward sunlight. She's not even speaking, but her body is screaming attraction. And it's not just women you don't know. Even girls you've been casually talking to for weeks will give off these cues when they're hoping you'll finally get the hint. Dilated pupils when she looks at you, mirroring your gestures, your tone, even your breathing rhythm. Flicking her gaze down to your lips and back again. All of it involuntary. But here's the part that no one tells you. Her body is never wrong. It can't be. It's primal. It doesn't know how to lie. So the question isn't whether she's interested. It's whether you're brave enough to see it. How often have you missed this exact moment? How many times have you sat there, convinced she wasn't into you, while her body was practically reaching out? It's not your fault, by the way. Most guys are taught to focus on words, to play it safe, to avoid assuming anything. But you're not most guys. You're the guy who pays attention. Here's your practical move. Watch her feet. It sounds strange, but it's one of the most honest tells in attraction. If her feet are pointed toward you even when you're not speaking, that's your green light. Next time you notice it, lean in slightly. Lower your voice. Watch how she responds. Because here's the truth. Attraction isn't loud. It's quiet. It's in the spaces between words. In the unconscious shifts of her body toward yours. And once you learn to see it, you'll realize she's been speaking to you this whole time. There's this moment. It happens in almost every room at almost every party, every cafe, every crowded street. And it's so subtle that most men never notice it until it's already gone. You lock eyes. It's quick at first, almost accidental. She glances at you. You glance back. Maybe you both look away instantly. Maybe you pretend it didn't happen. But then it happens again. And this time, it lingers. Her eyes meet yours. And neither of you looks away. It's magnetic, heavy, electric in a way that makes your stomach twist. She's looking at you, not past you, not through you, but into you, holding the stare a second too long. And that's no accident. But here's the trap. You think you're being respectful by looking away. You think, I don't want to be creepy. I don't want to make her uncomfortable. So you glance down. You smile politely. You let the moment pass. And in doing so, you fail her test, because she wasn't waiting for you to look away. She was daring you to hold it. Picture this scene. A crowded bar. Music thumping. Everyone talking, laughing, moving around. She's standing by the far wall, her drink in hand, her friends chatting beside her. She locks eyes with you from across the room. And she holds it. You freeze. You glance away quickly, nervously, and pretend to refocus on your conversation. But inside her mind, it's already decided. She was testing you, and you blinked first. What you thought? I didn't want to seem creepy. What's really happening inside her head? Why won't he just do something? This is where everything flips, because that lingering eye contact, it's one of the oldest, most primal invitations in human attraction. It predates language. It's the kind of look that says, I see you. Do you see me too? And women, they feel it in their bones. They send it intentionally to see if you're bold enough to catch it. Ever wonder why she looked away smiling? It wasn't shyness. It was disappointment mixed with amusement. Because you missed the moment. You have way more power than you realize in that moment. So here's what you're going to do next time it happens. When you catch her staring, don't look away. Hold her gaze just a second longer than feels comfortable. Then, allow a small, confident smirk to creep onto your face. That tiny, knowing grin changes everything. You don't have to approach immediately. You don't need a pickup line. The look alone speaks louder than words, because the man who can hold tension, who can stand still and meet her eyes without fear, that's the man she can't stop thinking about long after the night ends. There's a certain kind of silence that most guys never learn to recognize. And it almost always happens at the end of the night. It's not the awkward, fumbling silence, where two people don't know what to say. No, this silence is different. It's thick, heavy. It hangs in the air like static, waiting to be broken, but neither of you moves. You're standing there with her. Maybe outside her car, maybe at her apartment door, maybe just at the end of a long walk together. The conversation has technically ended. She said it. Well, I guess I should get going. But she doesn't leave. Instead, she stands there, twirling her keys in her fingers, shifting her weight from one foot to the other, glancing up at you, then down again. And you? You think she's just being polite. You think she's probably just gathering herself before leaving. Or worse, she's waiting for me to say goodbye first. But what's really happening here is that she's giving you one last chance. See, when a woman lingers at the end of an encounter, it's not because she forgot something to say. It's because she doesn't want the moment to end. She's hoping quietly, desperately, that you'll read the energy between you and make a move. She's already done her part. She stayed out late. She walked with you. She laughed, leaned in, locked eyes, and now she's standing there, not leaving, waiting for you to connect the dots. But you hesitate. You thank her for a good night. You say it was fun hanging out. You smile, give her a wave, and walk away, leaving her standing there with her keys still dangling from her fingers, watching you go. You thought you were being polite, respectful, but she was thinking, why didn't he do anything? Why do you think she hasn't left yet? This right. Here is the moment most guys miss. The final green light. The last signal before she mentally closes that door for good. But not you. Not anymore. Next time you find yourself in that lingering goodbye moment, I want you to do something bold but simple. Close the space between you by half a step. Watch her body language carefully. If she leans in, even slightly. If her eyes flick down to your lips or she doesn't step back, that's your answer. And here's the beautiful part: when you step in with quiet confidence, she'll almost always meet you halfway. Because the man who doesn't wait for a perfect line, the man who simply acts in that lingering silence, is the man who turns a goodbye into something unforgettable. Most guys never notice this, but you're not most guys anymore. There's a moment that stings more than rejection. It's not loud. It's not obvious. In fact, it's quiet. So quiet that you won't even realize it's happening until it's far too late. It's the moment she gives up on you. See, every woman who's attracted to you goes through a silent internal process. First, she plays with subtle signals, lingering glances, soft touches, playful teasing. She gives you chances. Opportunities to notice, opportunities to act, and for a while, she's patient. She tells herself, maybe he's just shy. Maybe he's being respectful. But then comes the shift. It doesn't always happen in a dramatic way. Sometimes it's gradual. Sometimes it happens in a single crushing moment. One day, she simply stops trying. You won't even notice it right away. She still smile. She still be polite. But something about her has changed. The sparkle in her eyes? Gone. The lingering pauses in conversation disappeared. The way she used to lean in, play with her hair, brush against your arm. Suddenly, it's as if none of that ever existed. And the worst part? You'll think she just lost interest. You'll tell yourself, I guess she wasn't that into me after all. You'll move on, convincing yourself it was never meant to be. But here's the brutal truth. She didn't lose interest. She lost hope. Because she waited too long for you to act. She waited for you to notice her signals, to step up, to make a move. And every time you missed those chances, every time you looked away, hesitated, or played it safe, her heart sank a little more. Until finally, one day, she told herself, he's never going to get it. And that's when she gave up. Picture this. Flashbacks playing like a montage. The way she used to smile just for you. The way she'd pause after her jokes, waiting for your laughter. The way her eyes would flick down to your lips when you spoke. All of those moments gone. Now, she keeps her distance. She doesn't laugh as much. Her texts get shorter. Her body stays closed off. And you wonder, what happened? But deep down, she's no longer trying to be noticed. She's protecting herself from disappointment. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's one every man needs to face, because this is the one sign you cannot afford to miss. When she stops flirting, when she stops lingering, when she stops sending signals altogether, that's not rejection. That's resignation. And here's the haunting part. Once she reaches that point, it's almost impossible to win her back. Because it's not her attraction that faded. It's her belief that you'll ever act. How many times has this already happened to you? How many women have walked away from you, not because they didn't like you, but because they waited too long for you to make a move? The worst part is, you probably thought you were doing the right thing. Being respectful, being patient, not rushing anything. But you were missing the truth. Women don't wait forever. They wait until it hurts too much to keep hoping. But here's your redemption arc. Because now, you're aware. You're not the guy who gets ignored anymore. You're the guy who acts. So here's your move the next time you sense her pulling away. Don't chase. Don't panic. Don't try to win her back with grand gestures. Instead, calmly, confidently, ask her one simple question. Hey, did I miss something earlier? That line delivered with self-assured ease will stop her in her tracks, because it shows you're perceptive, you're present. You're not afraid to address the tension directly. Sometimes, just that alone is enough to reignite the spark, to show her you're not as clueless as she thought. And if it's too late, if she's already moved on, then at least you walk away with your head high, knowing you didn't hide from the truth, because that's what separates the men who get what they want from the ones who keep wondering what went wrong. Presence. Awareness. Courage. It's not about cheesy pickup lines or over-the-top confidence. It's about paying attention, about meeting her halfway when she's trying, sometimes desperately, to open the door for you. Remember this. Women don't stop liking you. They stop waiting for you. Don't give them a reason to doubt. So, let's keep it simple. If you take anything from this, take this. She leans in. You lean in too. She teases you. Playfully escalate. Her feet, her eyes, her body point toward you. That's your sign. Lower your voice. Get closer. She locks eyes and doesn't look away. Hold it. Smirk. Let the tension grow. She lingers at the end of the night, not leaving. Move in. Close the space. See what happens. Because these aren't just signs she likes you. They're signs she's waiting for you to act. And now, you'll never miss them again.